Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Adventure, and today's episode is the abandoned ski resort and water park, and let's get started. So opening this episode up here, I wanted to do one of the weird intros that I had done in the past couple of episodes here where I actually introduce you guys to the location that I'm at before I even bring you up there. Anyways, I decided to change that later on, and just getting started here, we are headed up to Mountain Tom ski area, Mountain Tom ski resort, and they also have a water park here. Now, I had taken you guys here not too long ago. I believe it was for the beginning of season 5. I will throw the link up here. This was taken during the winter. There's a bunch of aerial footage from the drone if you guys want to check that out. But anyways, here I am just heading up to Mount Tom. And the last time that I brought you up here, I actually just used this right here as the intro clip. Anyways, like I had said in this clip right here in this episode, this was suggested to me by one of the viewers to go up here and do this, and they also had suggested to do the Quarry, which is in another episode, which is a few episodes from now. But anyways, for those of you that have missed the last episode where I went to a little bit more of a history of Mount Tom ski area, the ski resort has been closed for 20 years this past winter, so this is going off the Wikipedia page right here. Mount Tom ski area was a ski resort in Holyoke, Massachusetts in the Mount Tom Range in the western part of Massachusetts, 10 miles north of Springfield. It opened in 1962 and closed in 1998. Since its closing, all chairlifts and snowmaking equipment has been either sold off or scrapped. Now, a few stray snow cannons remain along the mountain, and snowmaking pipes sit on the side of the former trails to rust away. Mount Tom was located off of Route 5 on the north side of Holyoke, Massachusetts, and was just up the road from Mountain Park, which, in a second here, that right there is where Mountain Park used to be. When I was a little kid, it was all overgrown. We used to go up there to do, play paintball and, hide and seek and stuff like that. But anyways, they had torn down Mountain Park and they decided to construct an outdoor amphitheater, and everybody was all excited for this. Everybody, was excited to bring, different musicians and things like that into Holyoke. And since it opened, it had some notable appearances, like Willie Nelson came by, Dropkick Murphys played up there, a couple other bands and, really popular groups that I can't seem to think of their names right now. But it is kind of a joke in the town that I live in, because since right when it opened, and like the 1 or 2 years after they had finished reconstructing where Mountain Park was and turning it into this outdoor amphitheater venue, they only have like one concert up there a year, and it's, like I said, in the past couple of years, it hasn't really been anybody noteworthy, notable, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, the beginning, when they first started, they had huge names come here, and everybody, went up there. We went up to see Dropkick Murphys, and I believe another band up there. It was a great experience, but I just can't understand. There, for some reason, is Pepe the Frog. Somebody spray painted that on the road. But like I said, for some reason or another, they only have 1 or 2 concerts up there every single year now, which I can't understand. It makes absolutely no sense. A lot of people just think that the land was used as a tax write-off or something like that. But anyways, Mount Tom was located off of Route 5 on the north side of Holyoke, Massachusetts, and was just up the road from Mountain Park. Mountain Park is there. That is the area to the left of me as I'm walking up the road right now. All of that was Mountain Park. Both Mountain Park and Mount Tom were owned by the O'Connell Construction Company. It was rumored that Mount Tom was created so that the construction company could keep seasonal workers working during the winter and keep them available for the summer construction season. Now, my dad actually started working up there. That was one of his very first jobs. He somehow, I don't know, my grandfather, I remember him telling me this story a while ago. My grandfather or my uncle knew one of the guys who was in charge up there, and they hired my dad at a very young age, and he actually spent a weekend or 2 up there cleaning their entire garage, cleaning out the equipment and stuff like that. And then they said that he did such a nice job with that they wanted to take him on and do other work, and he learned to operate a bunch of different pieces of equipment, a bunch of different machinery or pieces of machinery while he was up there working there. And I forgot what year he said he left there, but once he left there, he had started his own business, and that's a story for a different day. But during 2016, the main lodge, which was the last building secured from vandals, was broken into and the security systems were destroyed. Vandalism inside the lodge and surrounding buildings increased. As of now, all the buildings on the mountain are not usable and would require a complete rebuild, with the exception of the main lodge. A recent forest fire in April of 2014 burned roughly 27 acres of the ski area. I remember that somebody had actually lit one of the believe it was like a, not a paramedic, but like, you know, the slope medic type of thing. You know, the person who's up there in the ski resort that is going to be like a first responder. If somebody gets injured on the slope, they actually burned one of those huts down and the fire had spread. Now, I do go into the building here, and if I remember correctly, this is the episode where I have something fly at me and it scared the absolute crap out of me. This power station up here had all of these weird plastic owls, you know, like the owls people would use to keep birds and squirrels and stuff out of their garden. They put all those owls up there, and just the current or the heat coming off the transformers and the pylons that are right there just melted these owls. It was something very funny to see every time you walked up here. But since this point in time, that whole substation that's right there has been taken down, deconstructed. There is nothing there other than a parking lot right now. What was that, little frog? Yeah, I think that was a little frog, yeah. Little tiny baby frog. Okay, so in late 2016, vandals and arsonists set fire to one of the smaller old ski shacks, burning it to the ground. In 2017, a proposal from a local area restaurant was brought to Holyoke Town Board's to the Holyoke Town Board's attention. This paragraph is very poorly written, to attempt to reopen the ski area. And I thought it was before 2007. Yeah, it was... No, yeah, okay. So this is 2017. A proposal from a local resident was brought to the town board's attention to attempt to reopen the ski area. I thought that was talking about when the guy wanted to open up Mountain Park as an amphitheater. Anyways, like I said before, there was another episode where I brought you guys up here. I went into a little more detail. The link was up above, and it was also, and it is also down in the description. Anyways, here there's a bunch of different paths that people use for mountain biking and stuff like that. Going in here, this is where the water park was. The water park was opened, I believe, in the mid-1980s, if I remember correctly. They had like a wave pool there. They had some of those slides that you could go down, and when the ski resort closed, they decided it wasn't feasible to keep the water park operating either, and there was, I believe, Six Flags had its own, or not Six Flags, well, Six Flags in our area was originally known as Riverside, and it was an amusement park that was located near Springfield. Then it got bought and turned into Six Flags, and I believe at that point in time the water park at Riverside was expanding rapidly, and that is also another reason why they decided to stop operating this right here. Like I said, though, this was like a wave pool right here. You could go into the back where the pump house was. I actually took my truck when I was like probably 16, 17 years old. We went off-roading and we drove up there in the middle of the night, and it was crazy because it was just pitch black. There were deer absolutely everywhere, and there was a 2003 Dodge Dakota, and we were driving it up the side of a ski lift, which was absolutely crazy. Side of a ski slope, whatever you want to call it. There's just so much graffiti up here, and if you do go and look at the newer episode that I had filmed that took place, you know, at a closer date than this episode has right here, you will see that there is even more graffiti up there. For some reason or another, people decided to drag the furniture out of the buildings and throw them into the water. And it's disgusting. It's a cesspool. I don't know why, you know, I can understand people breaking into abandoned buildings and stuff like that, you know, having a look around, but when you start grabbing everything and throwing it and just making a mess, that, I don't know, that's not cool. Anyways, here I am. I'm going to be heading right now into one of the bathhouses. This is where you would get changed. This is where lockers were, I believe. I actually think there's still some lockers in there.
All the poles had lights on them, which was hard to find in this area, you know.
So right here I'm just talking about how this Mount Tom ski area was one of the first places in our area to offer nighttime skiing. They had an extensive setup of light poles and lights that illuminated, I believe, all of the trails, or at least like 70% of the trails. So it was a very popular attraction back in the day. Here I am going into the bathhouse right now.
Hello.
I just thought I would announce myself just in case there was anybody in there. But yeah, there were little changing rooms. That's the bathroom right here, and of course I'm going to walk in there because it's disgusting. Maybe I'm not going to walk in there. Nope, they're right there were the showers, and you can't really see on the other side of that rail directly in front of me is where the tubes used to go down. In a second, you will see the cement
water
footings
slide
for where the
came
plastic
down
tubes
here.
rested on, so
Concrete
that, you know, the people
footing
could go through the slides, and then it dropped them off
Came
here.
to that pool.
And then there was this cool little like wooden
There
bridge
it
that
is,
was built
actually,
over where the water would siphon out and where it would return it back to the top of the water slide. Now, last time I went up here with my buddy Sean, it was like somebody had set a fire to the bridge or something, so it was very sketchy crossing across it, and I really can't imagine that that bridge would be standing there for that much longer. You can see somebody lit that on fire right there. That box over there actually used to house some of the controls for the pumps and everything. So I believe if I pan to the left here, yeah, you can very barely see them. The overgrowth is covering them. I think you actually might have a better shot of seeing them in the winter episode when I go up here. And I also had chosen to go back up here not only because I had the drone and I was flying it in the winter and wanted to show you guys that, but it was also the 20th anniversary since the place had closed down. This was like an outdoor service window there where you could, you know, rent whatever you need to rent, and there was also a concession window over on the other side from what I remember. Now, this deck right here, just another thing that I'm absolutely surprised is still standing, considering, you know, more than likely that looks like pressure treated wood, and it's been exposed to the elements for this many years, and just, you know, for the amount of fire that has taken place up here, how nobody has burned that down yet is just beyond me. I can't understand. Then also this hole that somebody punched out through the wall. Funny story, I keep bringing this back up, but when I take you guys up here in the winter, which was, like I said, in season 5,
There should be a door.
that window was open, and we had gone inside, and I was looking for something to launch the drone off of so it wouldn't, you know, be sitting directly in the snow. So we actually grabbed an old, like, wooden milk crate and threw it out the window, set the drone up on there, and then before I left, I made sure to put the wooden milk crate back inside. I don't know why. I just returned it to where I found it. Now this door is open right here, I believe. No, that one's closed.
That's okay.
There's like multiple ways to get into this building. They really stopped carrying out. See that?
Door's open.
That door is just pried wide open. For a while, the cops would constantly be up here patrolling this area. Like when we would go up here to play paintball, the cops would always say, you know, just don't destroy any of the buildings, don't break into any of the buildings. If they're already open, it's okay. Just be careful, don't get hurt, and don't cause any more destruction. So they were very cool. They were very lenient about people using this place, and there were also a bunch of other people that went up here and, you know, took like abandoned photos and stuff like this. So this is the main lodge right here. You would go downstairs. There's spaces to put, you know, your skis, your ski boots, your jacket, everything like that. Now I don't know if I go downstairs or not, but there was a bunch of stuff.
And that's actually where
Let's see.
the lobby and reception area is.
Do I go downstairs? No, I don't. So walking through here, you can just see it's, you know, that door at one point in time had glass all over it. Somebody had broken that. It kind of looked like on my phone I was playing Pokemon Go still at this time while I have my light out. Anyways, traveling through here, very, very dark, very, very stinky. You know, just people go in there and use the bathroom, and animals go in and everything like that. And I do apologize for any profanities or anything like that that you may see on the wall that were tagged there. I have no control over that.
And Nick and Sean came
Yeah, so this was the dining area, and my buddy Sean had told me stories of, he remembers going there with his parents and stuff when they used to go skiing, and you'd sit there and you'd get lunch or breakfast or anything like that. And that was, you know, opened up at one point in time. It wasn't covered with plywood, so it had a nice view of the slope while you were sitting there warming up, having a meal. Now right here is where it happens.
Whoa. What is that? It's a bat.
There was a bat. There's a bat flying around, and the thing swooped down on top of my head. It scared the crap out of me.
That was nuts.
The bat that was up there. And that was another check-in area right there. Like, this place was really innovative for, you know, its time. Like I said, there weren't too many ski resorts in this area. There were, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 or so, and, you know, this entire, you know, like a 80-mile radius or so of where Holyoke is located. So for this place to have both summer and winter options, they also had a ski school to teach kids of different ages how to ski. They partnered with the Holyoke High School so they could have their ski team go up there and have practices and meets and competes and everything like that. Competitions, not competes. Anyways, like I said, this place is just absolutely destroyed. I am still shocked every single time I go up here that everything is still standing the way it is. I don't know how, the city hasn't gone in and just leveled it and left it there. Now, when they were around the time of closing, well, let me back up a little. During their prime, they had something go on in which a construction company came and started to quarry out the mountain. That's the Mount Town Quarry Adventure Wednesday. I will throw that link up here if you guys want to check out that episode. So this company came in, quarried out the mountain, took this massive chunk away from the mountain. In the years that followed that, nobody went skiing up there anymore. There was this whole condoggle type of thing going on. And when the company was done excavating the mountain, done harvesting the rocks from the mountain, they sold it or did some sort of tax agreement type of deal with the Holyoke Boys and Girls Club, which were supposed to move up here and have camps and everything like that. And I think they spent a couple months here in the summer because for a while when you would go in these buildings, they'd have like Boys and Girls Club posters and like flyers, information packets, stuff like that. They just gave up on this completely. They never spent the money to remodel it, which is completely mind-blowing to have, Boys and Girls Club organization, and you have all of this land that was given to you, and they didn't want to do a single thing with it. They could have easily cleared out an area to set up tents or, anything like that to get kids out in the outdoors and exploring nature. So they chose to leave it sit there. Nothing happened with it. And like I said, they tore down some of the stuff. They deconstructed the whole mining operation, the whole quarrying operation. They knocked down Mountain Park and they built an amphitheater there. And this whole back area of it was kind of just left abandoned.
I've snowboarded once, crashed right into a tree.
Oh, here's a story from Story Saturday. The first time I ever went snowboarding, I went right into a tree. And I believe I knocked myself out, or I knocked my,
collapse. That was like
hit myself so hard that I was out for a good minute or so, and never hopped on a snowboard ever since.
That is like
that building right there, when I was a little kid, it was still standing, and I think it was a really heavy rainstorm or a really bad winter, and the whole thing just collapsed on itself. Like the whole roof is standing there. You can walk up on the roof. It's just all the supports, all the structural supports for the building just gave out underneath it. The roof was completely sound. It's very strange to see something happen like that.
Don't have jeans on.
Yeah, and this hill here, they have so many rattlesnakes that are up here. There's rattlesnakes. There are puff adders, stuff like that. There's just a lot of snakes, and it was a very, very hot day. And as you guys know, I don't like snakes. If I was thinking right when I went up here, I probably would have worn jeans and boots, but if I do remember correctly, I was up here very early in the morning. I mean, if you just look at where the sun is and how it's beaming down across the trees, my guess is it's probably like 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
The snow that they made for quite some time.
Anyways, going down here is an old garage. Now, I want to say when I was like probably 14, 15 years old, we'd come up here and everything like that, and you would look into this garage. The garage was completely locked up. It looked like somebody was using it, or the quarrying company was using it as just like a storage or a maintenance shed. It was still locked up. The place still had power going to it. It had a brand new, if I believe correctly, it was like a Chevy Silverado in there. This thing was white. I don't know, there's some butt spray paint on the ground. So anyways, going over to here, there was this brand new truck sitting in there. There was a brand new plow. There's, I believe a Bobcat was in there as well. And somebody managed to break in there, and they torched this brand new truck that was sitting there. And I believe I go in here right now, and you'll see this truck sitting there. This thing was just melted. Like I said, you would look into this building from the side windows. There's a truck right there. You would look in from those windows right there. All the lights were on. There was a new truck sitting there. Looks like a GMC.
We came for a hike, and we could look through those windows, and there was two almost looked brand new cars that were.
Yeah, see, I'm saying the same exact thing I was just telling you guys. How you look through, you see these brand new cars, and this thing is just sat there. I mean, these people torched it. They jumped on the hoods. They beat the ever-living crap out of it. But this whole building in here was clean. It was freshly painted. It had lights on. It had power. People were actually using it. I could only hope that the company got their tools and everything like that out of there before that happened. But anyways, here I am just doing a slow pan, showing you guys everything. All left abandoned. Absolutely crazy. There is the broken truck behind me as I'm doing the outro right now. That is going to do it for today's episode, folks. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to tune in tonight for another episode of Beyond the Adventure. Peace.